tonight. With Kim and Chris holding immunity.
Do not rest on your laurels.
Let's go! The original 6 competitors need to make the most of last chance training.
Go, Marty, go, Marty, go, Marty!
Because come weigh-in, not everyone's efforts will be rewarded.
Quite a shock.
As the yellow line looms.
It's what I've been dreading.
Some have lost a little.
I feel like I've hit a brick wall.
Some have lost a lot.
I really wasn't expecting it.
And someone has lost nothing at all. Plus,
That's great.
we pay a special return visit to catch up with Pieta and Jared. They were the 4th and 5th contestants voted out of the house. But their journey to lose weight continues. And we'll see the amazing progress both have made.
Arriving at the house today, I didn't know what to expect. I knew that my guys had done the first major challenge.
We also knew that the commander had been somehow involved in that challenge, so we were very keen to find out the details about that.
When Shannan walked in the room, he could see the look on our faces straight away. I don't know where to start.
At the beginning.
It was a raft building challenge.
Right.
There was like big 44-gallon drums.
Plastic ones?
Metal ones.
Metal ones?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We had to cart them under a cargo net, then over a tyre pyramid, then over a hurdle.
First place got a 1 kilo advantage.
Yeah.
Second place got nothing. If they came last, they lose their immunity. If any of us came last, we get a 1 kilo disadvantage.
Yeah.
Courtney Munleader won. Paddy Marty came second, and we ended up losing.
Right.
So, Will and I got the kilo penalty.
He was gutted. Shannan was absolutely gutted, and you could clearly see that. And I was expecting that. Shannan has allegiance to his blue team, and they are the only blue team he has left.
How did you two go? You two little monkeys. Did it work all right together?
Yeah, it went all right.
There is a lot of animosity between Chris and Kimberly.
Fine, Chris had his strategy of how he wanted to do it. He was confident that he could make the raft the way he wanted to make the raft without going to the instructions.
The only reason I'd done it is I've used it once before and it worked well. This time it didn't really work for us because it was a different kind of game. I should have done something different. I did make a mistake there, but I don't know, you live and learn.
It's not all about testosterone and bravado and ripping in and dragging people with sore ankles and things like that. In these games, yeah, true. Mate, this is what we're talking about, facing yourself in the mirror and facing experiences. And that's how to work as part of a team, and that's how to work as a unit and win races. Because it's not all about gun-ho and bravado sometimes. Sometimes it's about tactics and skill and thought and communication. Cool? Yeah. Agreed? Happy with that? Sure. Got weigh-ins tomorrow, so I need you to be able to pull it back together again. And we've been here before and we've got through it. Yeah? You ready to step up? I'm just gonna have to lift everything with Damien and Laura. We're gonna have to lift their training, we're gonna have to lift their intensity. So the 1 kilo penalty doesn't offset all the hard work they've done this week and doesn't cost them their time in this house. It's that serious.
We're waiting back at the house for Michelle to come in. We wanted to tell her how we went in the challenge. When she came in, she knew something was going on. We all had little grins on our face.
What's been going on?
We had a challenge.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to spill it to me? How did it go?
The winners were...
Courtney and I won.
Those two build a raft and win the challenge? How does that happen?
We built the best raft and we paddled the fastest.
Well, you had the commando.
We did.
You expect to have a really good one. That's fantastic, you guys. Well done. Good job. Nice work. I think that the fact that Courtney and Manolita won the challenge is just terrific. The fact that they've also got the 1 kilogram advantage is going to be a huge shot in the arm for them to really stay above the yellow line. And that's a critical point in the game now.
And team number 2 to cross the line was also red.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It was about a metre, I think.
They were hot on our tail.
That's really good news. Really good news. So, third place
When we explained to Michelle that Laura and Damien had lost and they had got a 1 kilo weight penalty against them, and that Chris and Kim kept their immunity, I think she felt a little bit sad like ourselves. I think in a way she felt that, you know, the original team members should be the ones that do get to stay in the house that little bit longer.
Yeah.
And the most annoying thing is that each one of them gets a vote.
They're
in the stay.
automatically above the yellow line.
My team felt that it was a disadvantage that Chris and Kimberly were able to keep their immunity. But you know what? That's life. You're underestimating your power, you're underestimating your strength, you're underestimating how much you've learnt since you've been here.
She's going to try and do everything that she can to make sure that we're all here, but she knows that one couple out of her ex-Red team members are going to be below the line.
You guys are really training hard. You're fitter. I wanted to take my guys into their last chance training session with a real view of every single one of you deserve to be here. Someone's going home. I'm going to make sure that that person isn't wearing a red t-shirt. I think we should make this one an absolute humdinger. Come on!
Next, on The Biggest Loser, will the 1 kilogram advantage change the game?
Can you do it?
As duos face the most shocking weigh-in yet. And eliminated contestant Pieta shows us just how far she's come.
Pieta, your official starting weight is 131.6 kilos.
I was feeling a little bit nervous about coming along to today's photo shoot.
That's really, really nice.
Before coming on the show, I was incredibly self-conscious. I feel so much better now. It's just, it's an amazing transformation.
1, 2, 3, and yay!
My confidence and my self-esteem have really skyrocketed. I can see the change in my face in the photo. I can see how happy I look now. The Biggest Loser experience has taught me that it's just, you take the little steps. I'm really happy with my progress, and to see the difference is amazing. Massive change.
That's phenomenal.
So if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Patty's put lots of different boundaries on herself around her weight. Today, I really wanted to sit down and just ask her what's been the triggers for that, what's been the instigator for that.
It's just hard for me to talk about my past because it hasn't always been good. And I know that I put on weight just to kind of protect myself. Because I felt miserable, so I thought, well, if you're fat, then that kind of goes hand in hand with it. Do you know what I mean? So I think I actually went out of my way to put on weight when I was young. So it could just match how I felt inside.
Oh, Patty.
I know. I thought by putting on weight, I could protect myself from a lot of things that happened in life. The weight, it's been hard losing, but it's just the emotional baggage and stuff that's probably the hardest to work through, to untie all those knots and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it comes back to, like, I didn't have a very good relationship with my mum.
And that's a big relationship in someone's life. I know your sister's proud of you. I've seen her on that videotape.
Yeah. And it was always me and my sister who kind of stuck together. And because she's 5 years older than me, she raised me. It's not part of my personality to push anything on anyone. But I know that just the respect that they have for me, if they see me living right, then they're going to do it as well. I also want to be a role model to nieces and nephews. It's not going to be about going to the movies all the time or going out to dinner all the time. It's going to be outdoors, man, you know, because I can keep up with them now. Because before I was embarrassed even to run because my butt had bounced a little. It still bounces, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot less of it there now, so I can keep up with them. I know they're going to be proud of me, and I can take comfort in that. But I'm proud of myself, you know, and that's something I haven't been in years, you know. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been this proud of myself. This whole journey for me has just been opening up my mind to realising that I can do anything I want, and stuff putting limitations on yourself, stuff talking yourself down.
The interesting thing about losing weight is the body and the mind are all connected. So feelings of freedom, feelings of strength, and feelings of power when you start losing weight and you start getting stronger and you start getting fitter affects your psyche. It affects everything. You become more positive. You become happier. You know, you deserve all the happiness. You deserve everything that you want, and I know that.
I'm starting to realise that now. Yeah, the future for me is going to be really different. It's going to be a lot more open. It's going to be a lot more active, and it's going to be about doing what's right by me. You know, learning to love yourself, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
About 7 for you, mate, and about 6-4 for you. This is the first time that Chris and Kimberly have been in the house for last chance training. 5, 4, yes, they've been training hard. Yes, they've been getting flogged by the commando, no doubt. No, not yet. I wanted them to realise that last chance training is about being totally and utterly exhausted. Hit the ground running and a go. Launch off. Okay, we're into a 30-second interval, number 7.
I didn't realise just how hard it is, because Shannan was really smashing us.
Keep going. Done it, Jack. Keep going, keep going. Hands off, hands off.
Every machine, he was just blitzing us to the point where you couldn't go any further.
Hands off, get on there. You got 5 seconds to go. 4, what happened? 3, no you're not. 2, trust me, you're gonna go there. Have a rest, disappointed. It was so important for Chris and Kimberly not to rest on their laurels. They've got immunity after all, but there's a bigger picture here. You cannot get through this game without friends. The quickest and most efficient way you guys can make sure you're accepted by everybody in the house is to prove that regardless of immunity or not, you would have been above the yellow line. Get on the scales and show people this is what I did first week in the house. And we're going to rip into it. Let's go. Ready?
Shannan expects me to lose approximately 2.5 to 3 kilos this week. It's really hard for me to even know if that's something achievable, because on the outside, I haven't been getting any of those weekly results. You know, we have been kept in the dark for this whole time.
Go, 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 go!
For our weigh-in tomorrow, the 6 kilo number would be huge, but you know, I think there's the same chance of me winning lotto tomorrow as well. I think odds are it'd be 1, 2, maybe 3 at the outside. So we'll see what the scales say tomorrow.
2. Okay, time. Chill out, chill out, chill out. Catch your breath.
Come on, gang, let's go. This training session is what we've been building up to for weeks. They know what they can do, I know what they can do, and between us, we're gonna have an absolute screamer. This is your last chance training session. It's all about burning as many calories as you possibly can. And you can't beat training on a bike. Come on. 62. 162. Go, 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 go. Marty and Patty trained exactly the same way that I had Courtney and Manolita training. Hard, hard, and harder. Up we go. Go, girl. Patty gets very quiet and focuses. The more pain she's in, the quieter she gets. Marty, on the other hand, you can hear him from the other room. He lets everyone know about it. Where are you, Marty? Great. Take off your resistance. Steady, strong. Come on, let's go. Everyone, where are you? Heart rates. 132, Manolita, you need to go more than that, babe. It was important for me to remind Courtney and Manolita that, you know, they can't rest on their laurels just because they have a 1 kilogram advantage for the weigh-in. They lost huge numbers last week. This week may not be so good. Come on, Manolita, pull it out. There it is. Good girl. Good girl.
Courtney and I are extremely confident that we are going to be above the yellow line this week, so bring on the weigh-in.
Next,
Hang on, Laura.
Lou sweated out.
Every little bit counts.
But can they survive the weigh-in?
I couldn't believe it.
And you've seen how great Pieta looks.
Really, really nice.
Next, Jared reveals his incredible progress.
Jared, your starting weight is 133.5 kilos.
I felt on top of the world arriving at the shoot today. I would never wanted to do a photo shoot, ever, especially the weight I was and the size I was. I actually quite enjoyed standing there and hamming it up for the camera and then have a look at the poses.
Oh, wow.
Can't believe the guy in the photos. Who is he? So far, I've lost over 35 kilos. I never knew what being fit felt like. And now doing the Biggest Loser journey, it's fun. I love it. I'm going to be 85 kilos or under by the finale. Just you wait and see.
Blue duo, last chance training. Is ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. 30 seconds on.
Damien and Laura have trained so hard this week, but they've got to remember that they've lost so much weight so far. Everything they lose from here on in, they're going to have to work really, really hard for.
2, 1, let's go. Second one. Ripping in, interval number 2.
I wanted to use the 1 kilo punishment as incentive. Use it. Use the anger and the aggression and the fire in the belly that you've got for being beaten to turn it into a positive.
Let's go, let's go. You're chasing your goals, you're living your dream, you're creating your future. Good girl.
I want to make Shannan proud. And every little step, every little rep, every little bit counts.
Hang on, big boy. 15 k's an hour, 180 kilos moving. Go to the freight train, go to the freight train. 5, 4, 3, you can do it. 2, big boy. Can't ask for any more.
Could be the last chance for us to train with Shannan full stop. So, you know, we've got to make the most of it.
You two have supported each other, you've trained hard, you've dieted together, you've eaten together, you've done your homework together. I'm proud of both of you. Good luck with the weigh-in tomorrow. You both will have earned your weight loss tomorrow. And I know it's going to be good. And you would have earned it. Okay, let's go and get cleaned up.
Going into the weigh-in this week, a little bit nervous, hoping that Paddy and I wouldn't fall below the yellow line.
It was the first time that Chris and Kimberly would be part of like a competitive weigh-in. So I was interested to see how much they'd drop.
Walking into the weigh-in room this week was extremely nervous. Every weigh-in has been so close, so you just don't know. We weren't sure if there's 2 people going home, 1 person going home.
I was nervous. I don't have any confidence in my body that it's not going to go up. You know, I'm really hoping it's going to go down.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to your second weigh-in as duos. It's time to discover how much weight you've lost and see which 2 couples have been forced below the yellow line and must face elimination. Kimberly and Chris, you've had a tough week, but you've survived with immunity. This week you are safe and cannot be eliminated. However, if you have put on weight, you will automatically go to the elimination room and be stripped of your immunity. Courtney and Manolita, you've had a good week. You won the raft building challenge.
Excellent work.
And you now enter the weigh-in with a 1 kilo advantage. Damien and Laura, you've had a disappointing week, coming last in the raft building challenge. And now enter this weigh-in with a 1 kilo penalty. You are behind the 8 ball and in danger of facing elimination.
Indeed.
It's now time for the first duo to weigh in. Chris and Kimberly, this is your first competitive weigh-in. Kimberly?
I was really hoping that I would get under 120. It's been a big hurdle for me to get over. I've never been below that I can remember anyway. Maybe just the sheer shock of being in this house might melt away some fat off my legs. That would be great.
Kimberly, last week you weighed 121.5 kilos. This week you weigh...
I wasn't expecting big things from her because she hasn't been training that hard that I've seen.
$119.4 kilos. That gives you a loss of 2.1 kilos.
I was happy that I'd lost 2.1. I think being in that environment, it's a really big moment. I've never broken 120.
How does it make you feel?
It feels good. So when I lost 2.1, it was great. I'm underneath it. I'm not well and truly under, but I'm under there. So it's definitely one hurdle. It's downhill from here. I was hoping it wasn't going to plateau. I've got to get under 100 now. That's my next one.
How's it been competing as a duo with Chris this week, having to rely on him?
My goal is to lose weight.
And Chris's goal?
I personally think Chris is here to win the money.
She's always trying to put the knife in, and I'm beyond caring now because I feel she's not going to be able to keep the pace, and hopefully next week she goes home and I laugh.
I looked out the corner of my eye and I could see Chris, fuming, standing there. She was trying to humiliate him. It worked.
I wasn't so stressed because we had the immunity, so I wasn't too worried, but I did want to put in a good showing.
Chris, it's time to step up to the scales.
I wanted to make a solid effort and pretty much silence my critics, I suppose. And the best way to do that is on the scoreboard.
Chris, your starting weight is 149.5 kilos. Chris, last week you weighed 118.2 kilos.
I watched the numbers bounce up and down, and it sounds a bit weird, but you kind of freak out, then you're happy, then you freak out, then it just keeps bouncing around.
Chris, last week you weighed 118.2 kilos. This week you weigh 111.8 kilos. That's a loss of 6.4 kilos.
No way.
Well done.
Thanks a lot, AJ.
Tremendous effort.
Thanks, I really wasn't expecting it. That's spectacular. I knew it was a big enough number that I'd pretty much kept myself out of trouble for another week. Well, yay for me, I suppose.
I was really shocked that he pulled a big number like that. Obviously, it was great for us in the fact that it really pulled our percentage up.
When I saw those numbers, it did kind of occur to me that he's going to be a pretty big threat as far as weight loss goes.
It was good. Like, the more he loses when he has immunity, the less he can lose when he doesn't. So if he pulls a good number this week, maybe next week he won't, and then I can boot him off.
Chris definitely is a threat in this game because he's young, pretty much a sportsman only a few years ago. I consider him a big risk.
Kimberly and Chris, this week you've lost 8.5 kilos. That's a combined total of 3.55% weight loss. That's a very good figure.
My honest feeling was, that's all me. I was looking at it, I was thinking, I hope I don't have to carry it for another week.
With the immunity you have this week, whatever the results, you cannot be eliminated.
I was really happy. I just thought I started off the week 2 with a bang. Today's weight loss, that's a big chunk. I'm that much closer to 100 kilos, which I think is going to be a break point for me.
That leaves 3 duos to weigh in.
After Chris and Kim had both weighed in, I thought Manaleeta's worked a hell of a lot harder than what Kim has, and I've been working just as hard, if not harder, than Chris. So I thought, yeah, I can pull that off. We can do it.
2 couples will be forced below the yellow line and facing a very real possibility of going home.
I thought Marty and I were going to comfortably blow Chris and Kimberly out the water.
We've done the hours, I've counted my calories, so hopefully I think it'll be enough to keep us above the yellow line.
At that point in time, I was definitely confident that Damien and I can get a big number to stay above the yellow line.
The official weigh-in starts now. The next duo to stand on the scales is Paddy and Marty. Paddy, are you ready to face the truth?
Good luck, Paddy.
I was hoping for over a 3. That's the number that I had in my head when I was walking up to the scales.
Paddy, your previous weight was 96.3 kilos. You are now 94.1 kilos. That gives you a loss of 2.2 kilos.
I was hoping for more than that, definitely. You can imagine my shock and humiliation when I jumped on there and I got 2.2. I was devastated.
I was really expecting probably a 3.5 out of her, hopefully a 4. So for her to have a plateau period had me concerned.
It was a shock. I pretty much started, breaking out in a sweat then. I thought, man, we have not got this. Yeah, I was thinking about how to save my sorry ass, pretty much.
Thank you, Paddy.
I know that some people view Marty and myself as a threat when it comes to like a duo, and it would be the perfect opportunity to get rid of us if we're going to be below the yellow line.
Marty, it's your time.
AJ called me up.
Luck, Marty.
After seeing what Chris had pulled, I was hoping for maybe 6.4 to beat Kimberly and Chris and to stay above the yellow line.
Marty last week pulled out at 7. Yeah! And, consistently up at least around over 5s.
Marty, last week you were 122.5 kilos. This week you are 119.9 kilos. That gives you a loss of 2.6 kilos. What?
I was shocked. I just didn't believe it. Couldn't understand why it was possible, how it was possible, and I thought maybe it's what I've been dreading. I guess I was due for a plateau period. By my calorie count, I should have done 5.5 to 6. So that is quite a shock.
I nearly cried. I think I did cry. And everyone else had this look of disbelief on their face. Marty never pulls that sort of number. Never, ever. I was pretty disappointed. I was very disappointed. We've just blown it.
Thank you, Marty. Please join Paddy once again.
Thanks, AJ.
Good work, Marty.
Well done, Marty.
Well done, Marty. I'm worried now. Marty's always a kilo or 2 higher than me, so I thought, I'm stuffed.
As a duo, your combined body weight loss this week is 4.8 kilos. That's 2.19% of your body weight. Congratulations. It's a good figure, but is it enough to keep you above the yellow line? Time will tell.
Dismal, mate. I thought we're going to be pushed below the yellow line. That's all there is to it.
It was a bit of a shock. Just to see how low their numbers were, it made me think that the rest of us were probably going to have low numbers as well.
There are still 2 duos to weigh in. Damien and Laura, you're next. You've had a tough week, losing both challenges and bringing a 1 kilo penalty to the weigh-in. Do you think that's going to make the difference?
Don't know, AJ. It's definitely got to work against us.
I think the other guys are making a token effort. So I thought they had Buckley's at that stage.
Well, Laura and Damien, last week your combined weight was 268.9 kilos. For the 2 of you to lose enough weight to rise above the yellow line, ahead of Paddy and Marty, you need to lose at least 7 kilos. Laura, the scales are waiting for you.
Thanks.
Luck, partner.
Thank you.
Laura.
Yeah, I hope for Laura she does a great number this week. We've both worked really hard. You know, I think we deserve it.
I'm aiming for, really wanted 4.5 kilos this week, but if I don't get that, anything over 3 kilos would be really good.
Laura, when you last weighed in, you were 94.4 kilos. You now weigh 93.1 kilos. That's a loss of 1.3 kilos.
I couldn't believe it. I feel like I've hit a brick wall. Now I am a little bit worried. Definitely feel vulnerable. No offence, but I want my place here. I think that us 6 probably deserve to be here a little bit more than them. We've done it tough in here, and that's why I think we probably deserve it a little bit more.
The outsiders coming in has really affected me. I thought it was at one place in the game, and now I'm just kind of 2 steps back.
It's a hard position to be in right now.
Well, thanks, Laura. Well done.
Well done, Laura.
Well done, Laura.
Damien, it's time to reveal your numbers.
I needed at least 5.7 to take us over the yellow line. And I was feeling pretty confident that I could do it, but still, just the unknown. You can never be too confident. And I'm always nervous before jumping on the scale. I've worked hard this week. I said that I wanted to get 10 kilos.
Damien, last week you weighed in at 174.5 kilos. This week you weigh 174.5 kilos. This week you weigh 170.6 kilos. That's a loss of 3.9 kilos.
I guess I was really disappointed when I only came up with 3.9. Although, that's still great weight loss in, in the outside world. Devastated. I've worked a lot harder this week than what I did last week. I made a promise to Mel that I was going to go for 10 kilos this week, and it's not a nice feeling to know that today could be your last day in the house.
I was a little bit shocked about Damon's weight loss because we've all worked extremely hard, I think.
Thank you, Damien.
Thanks, AJ.
Good work,
Well done, Damien.
Thanks, mate.
Laura and Damien, last week your combined weight was 268.9 kilos. This week your combined weight loss is 5.2 kilos. However, we must add the 1 kilo penalty you incurred at the major challenge. That gives you a loss of 4.2 kilos. That is 1.56% of your total body weight.
At that point, after Damien had weighed in, that we realised that we were up for elimination no matter what.
On paper, he's the biggest threat, and when I saw that he was going to be below the line, I thought, does this mean everyone's going to take him out this week?
You are in third place, below the yellow line. We already know you will be facing elimination tonight. The question now is who will join you. Manolita and Courtney, it's now all on you. You are the last couple on the scales. At the last weigh-in, your results as a duo were outstanding. Courtney, you lost 6 kilograms. Manolita, you lost 9. At the major challenge, you were outright winners and earned yourselves a 1 kilo advantage at this weigh-in. Even with this 1 kilo advantage, together you still need to lose at least 3.6 kilos to rise above the yellow line and avoid facing elimination.
When AJ said that all we need is 3.6 kilos to get above the yellow line, I thought, this is going to be a flogging. We're going to just roll it in.
I thought it was quite achievable.
There was no way that I had any doubts that they would be able to pull that off.
Well, Courtney, the scales are waiting.
Good luck.
As I was walking up to the scales, I was feeling a bit nervous, so I was hoping that I got what I was expecting to get. I was feeling pretty confident that we were going to get up there and we were going to be above that yellow line.
Courtney, last week you weighed in at 111.2 kilos. This week you weigh 110.5 kilos. That is a loss of 0.7 of a kilo.
I was shattered. I was like, 700 grams is nothing. You can piss 700 grams out.
I was a little bit shocked. I thought he would have at least lost 2 kilos. 700, I'd never seen that sort of weight loss in the house since I've been here.
I was gobsmacked. How the boy trains, and he has definitely watched what he ate this week. How can you lose? I don't know. That's bizarre to me. It just doesn't make sense.
At this point, I don't want to go home. I want to continue. I want to be here to the end. I want to lose as much weight as I can.
Courtney, do you think Manolita's done enough to keep you both above the yellow line?
I don't want to say yes or no, but whatever number she pulls out, I don't care. Because it doesn't matter.
You and Manolita have been huge support to each other. Do you feel you've let her down?
When I look at that, I do. I think I've been there for her in more ways than one. You know, we've come this far, made friendships. What's 200 grand? I know she'll be in my life for the rest of my life, nagging me and hassling me about everything.
Well done. You worked.
I work more than 700 grams anyway.
Manolita, it all comes down to you. You must lose at least 2.9 kilos to save yourself and Courtney from elimination.
When AJ said that I had to lose 2.9 kilos to stay above the yellow line, I was getting quite stressed, quite worried.
Well, Manolita, the truth is about to be revealed.
Good luck, Manolita.
Good luck, Manolita.
Thanks.
As Manolita was walking to the scale, I looked at Patty and I thought, we're going under the yellow line, and she said, I think so.
I had a feeling I've got a fantastic result or I've got an extremely bad result, and I had no idea which way it was going to go at all.
Manolita, last week you weighed 97.9 kilos. Now you are... Manolita, last week you weighed 97.9 kilos. Now you are...
I can't be the same.
Unreal.
Oh my
That's
God,
crap.
how can it be the same?
I was completely dumbfounded. I could not believe I lost no weight at all.
No way, that's almost impossible.
Yep, impossible. I could just feel that her heart had just broken. You could see it in her eyes that, you know, she was about to fall apart and she couldn't understand where she went wrong.
Just have to keep going. She was in disbelief, we were in disbelief.
I felt bad for Manolita because I knew exactly what's going to be going through her mind. She's going to be thinking, what have I done wrong? I've let Courtney down. I don't want to be here anymore. I should just go home. I want to eat some chocolate and I want to curl up in bed and cry. And, you know, you could see it in her face. She was absolutely devastated.
What I've learnt with dieting is you can't give up on it. You just got to keep going and going and going. On the outside, if I had lost no weight at all, I would have given up for sure. I would have thought, well, that's it. I've tried hard, it's not working. And I definitely would have went back to my old eating habits and thought there's no point trying to lose weight if I can't lose it.
I know we've both worked really hard this week. I know you've worked hard as well. I know I've been on your case a bit and I have been annoying you, but I know you've put up with me. But, you know, you've been there for me with all my little tantrums and tears and things. You've helped me through. And I love you a lot, Courtney. You've done a lot for me, so thanks for listening.
No worries, Manolita.
You can now step down.
Come here.
Manolita and Courtney. Last week, your combined weight was 209.1 kilos. This week, you have lost 0.7 of a kilo. With your 1 kilo advantage, that's a total of 1.7 kilos. And your final body weight loss percentage is 0.81. This puts you in last place, below the yellow line. You are now facing elimination with Laura and Damien. Kimberly and Chris, Patty and Marty, you have lost enough weight to stay above the yellow line. You are safe in the game for another week.
We're above the yellow line. Someone's looking out for me because we should have been at the bottom of the rung this way in. We really should have been at the bottom of the scrap heap.
Chris and Kimberly, you were the biggest losers, with 3.55% loss of body weight. Even without immunity, you would have still finished above the yellow line. Congratulations.
Thanks, AJ.
As you know on The Biggest Loser, there are many twists. And here's the next one.
Great.
I can now reveal that although you are still in duos, at the elimination, only one contestant below the yellow line will be going home.
My first reaction was, great, I don't have to say goodbye to 2 people instead of 1.
Yeah, I definitely thought that my chance of staying in the house was looking up, considering only 1 person would be leaving, not 2 people.
This means Kimberly, Chris, Paddy and Marty, each of you will only be able to vote for 1 person to be sent packing. If there is a hung vote, the person with the lowest percentage of weight loss this week will be going home. Manolita, that person is you.
You're not be going anywhere.
I was very disappointed by that. I thought it might have been the person that lost the least amount of weight during the whole time they've been here.
I'll see you all at elimination.
We are all so stunned about today's outcome at the weigh-in.
I thought there might be some other people besides myself that are bigger threats to other people in the house.
You know, your fate lays in the hands of your peers at this stage.
I really don't know. I reckon the people who are at most threat is probably me and Laura at being voted out.